All right, Pete, here's the finished product. This is not your kit, but this is...
Oh, it's not?
No, not yet. No, not yours. But anyway, this is the kit that Moni Multimedia has been following us since the beginning, from raw shells to what you see here today. Mm-hmm. Now, you just played this kit for a few minutes. Give us your thoughts. What do you think?
Well, I love Warlock drums to start with, but what surprises me about this kit is it's got a lot of power and sound from a smaller sized kit, like the 18-inch bass drum. Mm-hmm. I normally don't play 18-inch bass drums unless I'm playing like a small acoustic jazz or something. So I'm not really worried about the punch. And I never get the punch from an 18-inch bass drum, but this bass drum has a lot of power, surprisingly. You know, you could use this for rock and roll. You could use this for funk, jazz. I mean, it really is shocking how much sound comes out of this small drum. I mean, what's the secret, man? I don't get it.
That's a misconception that many drummers have, that an 18-inch bass drum is nothing more than a floor tom turned on its side. When in fact, if it's done properly, it has just as much power as a 20 or 22-inch bass drum. I mean, that particular bass drum, the hoops are 12 ply, mm-hmm. Okay, and they've been cut back on the backside, so they really lock into the head and get a lot of contact. Our bass drums, we have our air vents. We use multiple air vents on our bass drums. These particular drums have Evans heads on them, the E-Meds in the back. But our toms, here we have Remo heads. That's because the client wanted Remos on his snare and his toms.
Yeah, and well, the snare drum too, getting back to this smaller size, this is a 13-inch snare drum, which I'm not used to playing 13-inch snare drums. Right. But this sounds amazing. It still has the power of a 14, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of attack on top. So you could play funk, jazz, country or whatever, but it's got the oomph at the same time, so you can play a lot of rock and roll. I mean, it really is a very versatile snare drum for a 13-inch.
Yeah, as you know, all our drums are versatile. It's the tone, because our drums are attack and tone. Which is, what makes Warlock. And our snare drums, no matter if they're 13s or 10s, I have a 14, a 13, a 10 I use myself on different gigs. And it doesn't matter. I can get the same attack out of a drum with tone that a lot of drums you can't.
Yeah.
So our toms are, they have a lot of old school sound, but with a modern twist.
Yeah, I mean, this kit you can use it for anything.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting part about this is it looks like, oh, that's a cute jazz kit.
Right.
And it's anything but cute.
Right. It looks, it's like the small guy who has big muscles.
Oh,
That's what it's like, exactly.
Man, amazing.